So the future of IITTI would be talking about what are we going to do when people have no jobs, and would spirituality, not religion, be something that that would be a good thing to actually embark on in that regard. So those are big items, big issues. If we're going to be talking about spirituality, there are a lot of things we can talk about. As I mentioned, some of you before, as an engineer, there's something called quantum physics, and quantum physics is looking at the very small part, and they realize that quantum physics and spirituality or religion are actually converging, not diverging. If it's diverging, well, one of the discipline is in big serious trouble. But quantum physics and many religions are actually converging. There are talks about multi-universe. If there's no multi-universe, we wouldn't exist. Those are kind of things. It's very in line with a lot of the especially Eastern philosophy, like meditation and so on. They're talking about, is that good? We see in many of the Western country, especially, there are a lot of issue with mental health, and the World Health Organization already talked about mental crisis. So is having religion a good thing? Because I just was reading an article saying that research have shown, data have actually shown, people who are religious tend to have more discipline in self-control, in self-awareness, and so on. So, but of course, in the Western civilization here in North America, religion and it may have a bad connotation. It may have a lot of issue with lot that with a lot of people. So how can we juggle all that in the future? So I think we don't have to worry about it now. At IITTI, we can worry about corporate training, going to universities, and so on. But that's what we will be doing in 5-10 years down the line, because it's here. AI is here very quickly. So how can we save civilization so that people are not going to have a lot of mental illness in that regard?
So are you saying that we could bring up the concern of figuring out ways to implement spirituality into IITTI? Or
Yes, I would love to see, instead of talking about corporate training and so on, you spend one pager, your one pager, talk about something like this.
mm,
There's already a group talking about time machine, those kind of things for training young people, bringing them back to the middle age and so on, to train them with empathy. So
mm,
those are really good ideas. One
mm,
thing that is really out of style right now is for young people to read. And,
mm,
and research have shown that people who do less reading have less empathy. So again,
mm,
this is not my words, this is data driven. There's
mm,
people read and they go into another person's feeling, go look
mm,
at the world through somebody else's eyes. But if people don't read, then that civilization is gone. So
mm,
can we do something like this? I'll be talking to Dubai again. I don't know if I told everybody. IITTI are planning to have humanity hubs. We already built one. We're building one in Hong Kong, and the second one will be in Dubai. And we're talking about, should we be bringing this to these centers, and so that there are a lot of discussions that we can do in that way.
okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much for asking such insightful question. The world has hope.
Patrick, we have sent you a file on email. Can you
Okay.
please check it?
Okay. I'll do that now. Uh, okay, but yeah, in the meantime, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. Okay, let me see. Okay, I got it. So It's by Rafino, right? Rafino sent it to me. Okay, good.
Yes.
We see it. Yeah. Okay, I won't read it now because there are other students here, but I'll read it and I'll reply very quickly. Okay. Yeah, very good ideas. This is, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, would be the new kind of careers in the future. For example, how do you lead young people using that excellent time machine concept? Bring the students to Hong Kong or bring the students to Dubai. The parents can go shopping at the mall, but the young kids will be able to have these kind of immersive experiences with other students and lead by some kind of instructor that will go back in time, maybe even dressed up in medieval time or whatever, so that they can feel in certain battles. In the Battle of Waterloo, what is it like to be the French soldiers? What does it feel to be the English soldiers? What does it feel to be Napoleon? Why did Napoleon did certain things? Live history in that sense. Some people call that history reenactment, acting out as if you're there. So those are the kind of immersive experience, good for tourism, good for quality education, and so on. So kids are not just learning history, memorizing the dates, who did what to whom, a certain day, very boring there. But if they can actually live it, so think about how many episodes of history can the world have? Thousands, if not tens of thousands of these kind of different episodes, in China, in India, in Iran, in Nigeria, in Ethiopia, in England, everywhere. Think about the kind of business opportunity for tourism in that respect. Huh? Those are the kind of ideas that is coming into, and when they do this reenactment, students and everybody earn points on the World Civility Index points because they are contributing to the wealth of civilization. This is the contributing. Everybody play in a certain battle and so on. You are reinforcing one another. So those are kind of things that enrich the civilization for empathy, for seeing, well, how horrible a war really is. And this is only a reenactment. Think about it, in the real war, you can actually be killed. So those are the kind of things that some scholars are saying that we are living in an era that is too comfortable. So we need to have a certain, what's the word they use? Artificial hardship. We need to go through boot camp. It's almost like go through military drills to build character. So those are the kind of things that, along with spirituality, would be something that is needed for civilization to survive. Otherwise, we all be just drinking Coca-Cola and eating pizza and watching Netflix. That wouldn't be too good. So those are the ideas that many institutions are thinking about very hard, because how do you first you have to think about these kind of things, and then you have to affect the governments to do something like this. So in Hong Kong, for example, we're talking to the Hong Kong government, and they would be implementing some of these changes in a very big way, very big way. So they're willing, they're able, and so we'll see in Dubai or other locations in that region. Some of the governments are very progressive too. So can we do something like this? So those are the opportunities in your lifetime in that regard. How many of you are international students? Raise your hands. Oh, just
All of us.
well, okay, good. So I guess most of you are international students. This is a good thing, because you see your country of origin and how it compares to here in Canada and so on. And our population here in Canada is dropping off, like dropping off the cliff. And in your country, maybe, I don't know, Nigeria, India, so on and so forth, they have a lot of young people. So the opportunity is there to help your fellow countrymen, the young people of your country, to fill the void, to fill the gaps, to fill the holes of population in the Western world, so they would be able to fill the labor shortages in that regard, in white collar, in service work, accounting, and all that, and also in a lot of social caring. How do you care for people who are lonely? How do you care for the elderly who may not have a lot of friends? How do you do that? Those are all big social issue in mental wellness in that regard. Okay. Other questions? I see Alan is there.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello.
It's just that we were planning to show you some advances, but I don't know if I want to share it in public.
Sure, I understand it can be competitive. Some of your professors ask about, I have to pick the best team, and it's hard. Some of you are having really good ideas, and but yeah. Okay, but this is an open office hour, so it's not a meeting. So if you have nothing else, I know you guys are all busy. Feel free to leave. That's perfectly fine. This is an open office hour. So go ahead. I know how busy university students are.
I have one more question.
Sure.
So, if you could sum up IITTI in one sentence, what would it be?
People people are no longer judged by how much money they have, but by
Mm-hmm.
how much refinement they have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about your gold or platinum credit card, but in the future, people should be judged by how much
Character.
empathy and how much manners they have in that regard. So we're working hard. We're working hard in the next 12 to 20 to 24 months, year or two. We are going to be working with grocery stores, with travel agency, with destination, and so on, and say, well, you guys should really use the World Civility Index to give a discount, to give some kind of loyalty to your customers based on the World Civility Index, and not based on, like I said, based on whether they have a gold or platinum credit card and so on. So those are the changing value that we want to
So,
impose.
do you think it would have any form of like correlation with just the justice system as well, like the law?
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that, well, the law and ethics are not always the same. Sometimes
Right.
something that is legal may not be really truly ethical. And
Right.
how do you affect it? They are correlated for sure. But unless the population agrees on that, the culture may not accept certain law to be
Mm-hmm.
legislated. So yeah. So I think that is needed for sure.
Okay. No problem. That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
Patrick, actually, for today's meeting, our team goal was to just take your feedback. But as you said, you will tell later. No problem. Take the time. Read uh, our detailed like the ideas, but we deliver in the that file. But
Yeah.
like we have classes now, so we are not able to join you for this time. But we the main idea to join this meeting was to take your feedback. But if you want to deliver it by the email, no problem, you can take time, but we just want your feedback. That was the main reason to join the this meeting. So
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for being so conscientious. Um, I'm not so much worried about the result. Well, don't tell your professor. He's not gonna like me very much, because I really think the concept is more important, because once the concept is there, whether when you're going to reach the destination, it's not that important. You're going to go through a lot of trials and tribulations, go through potholes and traps, and go for a cliff even. But if your direction is right, you'll get there. I think you already shown that you have very good concept as to what is needed for the world, and yeah, so there you go.
So like if you want any portion like from the Word file, if you have any query, you can reply it in email. So we will try our best to give you your answers, like as much we can do. So
Okay.
this is a whole thing from our program.
Okay, sure. Yeah, no problem there. Yeah.
So can we leave the meeting?
Yeah, this is a open office hour, so it's not a true meeting. So yeah, feel free to leave. I would not be offended at all. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.